Alright, so I've been looking at this through hull for a while. Because the moisture kind of collects here, this wood is it's not the worst wood, but it's not the best. So I've decided to change this before it's totally rotten. And so I just used my little torch to heat that up a bit because it wasn't budging, and I'm surprised a little bit of heat did the trick. So now I'm just going to take this off. Okay, very good. There we go. So lots is happening on the boat. We're kind of like in final stages of about 8 projects or something. The compression post is all installed. We've started painting stuff white. Working on the holding tank. Working on the potable water tank. All new PEX tubing is installed going throughout the boat. We're going to install a hot water heater over here. We got one. Lots of mess. Floors are in. Need some coverings. Katie's doing magic. What are you doing?
Starting to clean. Let's see. I was gonna rip down the wall carpet or whatever sailor.
Hashtag wall carpet.
Whatever sailor talk for wall carpet is.
Yeah, Mike says there's no such thing. But
yeah, so instead I figured I'll scrub it and then we'll see. But mainly I want to like see if I can get rid of this. There's this big stain.
Oh yeah.
Which is what grosses me out the most. So if I can clean that out, it might be so bad. And there's like mildew everywhere.
This pipe, it's like wrestling an anaconda. It's like the holes don't even line up with the vent. Well, we got a new hole. It's not as good as I hoped to line up. I should have been over this way a bit more, but well, we did it. There it is.
Beautiful hose.
Beautiful hose. Beautiful hose. Beautiful hose. Now we just need to cut it off and put it on there. Well, we got all this plumbed up. Got our tank installed. Got all the PEX tubing replaced. And we got a fill tube, a vent tube, and a couple valves for the water system. We should be good to go. So we're at the final stages of installing the water heater, which is great because I can finish up the settee. So I just have to install these 2 hoses without pouring too much coolant all over the ground. I think they both have to go on at the same time. Done. The hot water heater officially installed. Then we can put the settee on and I can forget about this. And I think we can put water in the tank and try out the faucet. So we're back at the through hull here, and I'm going to do some 5200, new piece of epoxied sealed wood, and should be good to go. Just kind of slam it in there. So at one point I was going to plan to rewire the mast, but decided to leave that alone. We did put some new LED lights going to test those now by using a 12-volt battery with some wires jammed in them. See if we got a steaming light. Yeah, that got hot. There's 12 volts there, alright. Don't touch them together, okay? Oh, we got a steaming light. Hey! We got a mast light too.
So like, yeah, this little thing, old school on it.
It's super old school.
That plaque?
Yeah. Alright, so there's a kind of an interesting story on this wooden boat. At least so I'm told. The story is it's owned by a tattoo artist from San Francisco, and he'd been sailing it for quite some time, and he was up in Nova Scotia, obviously. The boat had been taking on water, I guess, so they came in a little bit of an emergency, and the boatyard pulled the boat out for him. So he had to return back to San Francisco, and they left the boat here in the boatyard. Apparently, like a year or two later, he drove 4 days up from California to Nova Scotia to do a bunch of boat work and get this thing taken care of. But as they drove into the parking lot of the boatyard, they got a phone call that there was a family emergency and they had to head back to California. So that's the last time they've seen him up here. So there it is. Just sits there in the boatyard waiting for them to come back.
Yeah, the temping tour.
Yeah, so we're going to put this stuff down. You gonna tackle that section?
Well, I don't know, I was thinking about it. But,
You do. Doesn't matter if we screw them up.
wow.
I think that's the second box. So we got all this section done, almost.
Almost.
I don't know, I think if I was to do this again, I think I'd just buy the expensive marine plywood. Because when we put the plywood down,
Yeah.
we would have been done. Like, we just would have cut it out, put it in.
Easier to put it in? Which,
It'd be done now.
why is that?
Because it comes like with the flooring on it already. It's expensive though.
Oh, I see.
It's like $300 a sheet, but
So trying to like piece this together like this?
yeah. I don't think it saved us any money in the end.
I wonder how to like clean up all that stuff, like where all the glue marks are.
Edges?
Yeah.
Alright. So it's less than 2 weeks for boat launch, and we got a few things left to do. We gotta do some mast work before it goes back on. The boat will float, I think, technically. We haven't checked the motor out, and we have a bunch of interior stuff to do. But yeah, less than 2 weeks. Boat launch. Getting excited.
Yeah, it's just a tape.
That looks like a floor. What do we call it? The dining area is done.
It can't be as a dining room.
I don't know.
Yeah. Cabin subway. Just called cabin subway. I don't know. Well, if you're still here, hopefully that means you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up and give us a comment below letting us know. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and join us on Patreon to help support making of the videos. Links are all in the description below. We'll see you next time.